Okay, so I have just been on an emergency Shabbat cream mission. I have come to Jerusalem today to have Shabbat. Rebecca's invited me over to Shabbat at hers, which is really lovely. She's only staying in Jerusalem for a few more weeks and then she's moving into my room. Basically she invited me to come and experience, her life here and meet her friends and her Shabbat. But basically she's had like a real disaster day, and like the online shopping order she tried to do last night didn't work. She couldn't get a time slot, so she went this morning to go and buy everything, and then she couldn't get frozen chicken, and then she like bought some raspberries that were really expensive and then left them behind in the supermarket. And then like we were trying to whip some cream for a pavlova, and the first one went wrong and then the second one went wrong, and so then we ran out of cream. So suddenly it's like nearly Shabbat, and she's phoning around all her friends to try and work out where there's a shop that's still open that might sell this cream. So I've literally just been I volunteered to go on this errand to the shop to get the cream, and they gave me the old carton so that I could match it up, because I can't read any Hebrew. But basically the shop didn't have the matching carton, and the shopkeeper was really busy because everyone is in this shop, I think, doing last minute panic buying before Shabbat. And so I was like taking pictures of all the different things in the fridge to send to Rebecca. And luckily they did have one that was right, but she's like, you realise you've also sent me pictures of cottage cheese and cream cheese and yogurt. I was like, I don't know, I'm just trying to do them all. She's like, you're going to laugh about this when you can actually read Hebrew. I was like, yeah. Anyway, I'm hungover from last night's cocktail festival and bracelet bar, and I had a mission to get here, and it took me 45 minutes on the bus literally from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and then an hour and a half to work out getting from Jerusalem to Rebecca's flat, which is only 20 minutes away, because I was in the supermarket oh la la, I'm hungry, I'm hungover, and I want to buy a gift for the people we're going to for dinner tonight, and I was like, it needs to be kosher, and I couldn't find anything, and then I did, and then I got on the bus, and then I got off at the wrong stop and ended up walking 25 minutes round the wrong way to get to Rebecca's house. Oh, so she was like, I've had a day. I was like, oh, I've had a day. I mean, you can see I look disgusting. I need to wash my hair before Shabbat, and so does Rebecca, and I basically need to get this cream back home to her. And actually I realised I have just wasted 2.5 minutes by doing this story, but honestly it was so funny. I just thought I had to just be in the moment and just share it right now or I'll forget. So Shabbat Shalom from Jerusalem for this week. And yeah, let's hope that the whipping cream works this time and there's no other disasters for the rest of the day. What a lovely Shabbat in Jerusalem I've had. So after all the drama and excitement of the emergency whipped cream mission, we actually had just a wonderful, wonderful weekend. It was really chilled out. We went to friends of Rebecca for Shabbat dinner, near me. She made this beautiful dinner, and and she had this dip course, and I'd said to Rebecca, we're going to have the dips. Basically, it's a thing here in Israel since I've arrived that when you have the challah, you basically have a whole course of eating all the challah and having loads of different dips like hummus and aubergine and cabbage, all sorts of things. And this has happened at the last few Shabbat meals I've been to, and I realised oh, is this a normal thing that happens all the time? And Rebecca's like, yeah, obviously. And then she told everyone at the table and they all laughed at me. Yeah, so it was really great, this whole dip course. I'm going to introduce this to my family. We had a really lovely meal, really good meatballs. Met Rebecca's friends. They were so lovely, such a lovely crowd of people. There were about 8 of us there. And then we walked home, stopped off through a park. Everywhere's really nearby where they live in Katana, I don't know, suburb of Jerusalem, and everyone lives there nearby around the corner. And we walked home, and then we saw these 5 bunnies just sitting in a patch of grass in the park, and then we bumped into this boy Rebecca knew, and then we ended up having a 20-minute chat speculating about these bunnies, because really it's not normal to see 5 bunnies just sitting around. Anyway, and then we went to sleep, and then woke up, had a lovely morning cooking and prepping because Rebecca was hosting Shabbat lunch. And oh my goodness, so many different dishes, a really cool steak salad. I was in charge of making dressings and laying the table. I was a very good sous chef. And we had a really good time just catching up and laughing and cooking. Well, not cooking, chopping and preparing, because we'd done all the cooking before Shabbat and everything was on the hot plate. And then, yeah, people came over, some of the people from the night before and some new people. So it was really lovely to just meet lots of new friends and really get an insight into Rebecca's life in Jerusalem, and to really appreciate and understand how hard it is for her to move to Tel Aviv, because she does have an amazing life there, but equally, it's fine. They're not going anywhere. And then also we went to Rebecca's parents in the afternoon, because they have made Aliyah about a month before me. They sold up their family home in Edgware, bought a beautiful flat in Jerusalem, and that's it. They've retired, and Rebecca's here, her sister's here, her sister has a couple of kids. It's lovely for them to all be together. So we walked over there, and actually we walked along this I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically an old railway track that's now been turned into a walkway. So kind of like the High Line in New York, except it's on the ground and it's in Israel. But you get the idea. And everyone's just out walking, having a lovely Shabbat. And we went to Rebecca's parents, and the flat is really nice. And it was so lovely to see them, Michelle and Jeremy. I've known them since I was 5. I haven't seen them for a while, but it's like there's some parent figures here. It was really lovely, and Michelle made really lovely dinner, cheese and salad and salmon. And we sat outside, and oh my God, Jerusalem at night is incredible. The air gets cold. This does not happen in Tel Aviv. It just continues as a wall of heat, just maybe a bit less, but still just a wall of sweaty heat. But Jerusalem, it's there's a breeze. You might need a cardigan. Oh my God, it was amazing. And then we ended up having such a nice time, and I needed to get back to Tel Aviv, and you've got this small window because basically you have to wait for Shabbat to go out, 8:30, then you wait an hour for the buses to start up again. But actually, we didn't really calculate that the last buses are around 11:30 getting back to Tel Aviv, and I honestly think I just got on the last bus, and I got one of the last seats. And then it turns out people were still trying to get on the bus. So there's just people standing in the aisles of the coach, because I think it was the last bus in the end. And I don't think health and safety is really a thing here. So they were 20 people just standing in the aisle, for a 45-minute journey down the motorway. But anyway, we all got there. And then by the time I got out at Tel Aviv at midnight or 12:30, I couldn't get any buses. So I ended up getting a taxi back home, which was fine. But I was okay, next time I do this, I need to just not just dilly-dally. It's I don't know the systems here yet. And I think I got really lucky, basically. But all in all, it was just a really wonderful weekend. And Rebecca's been living in this really lovely flat with a very nice flatmate, Avital, who I met. And she was talking to me about I've got to move and pack and everything, and I was yeah, you're moving into my room, and I was giving her advice about the room. So yeah, I'm really glad I went. It did make me feel I want to go again, and really go to the old city and really have that I did have a feeling we saw the walls of the old city, and I did get that Jerusalem feeling, which I love. So I really need to plan to go to the wall and just walk around and really just get that very old, historic, very Jewish spiritual feeling that I love when we go to Jerusalem. So it was a really great Shabbat, and I'm really glad I went to meet Rebecca's friends. You're all lovely, and I hope to see you all again soon.